Hi, I'm Paul. I'm going to introduce you to the Sport Wheelchair. The Sport Wheelchair can be used in the gym, on the trails, or on a court, playing basketball, badminton, tennis, or going out for a push. So we're going to show you now the technical aspects of the Sport Wheelchair. So now we have the Sport Wheelchair and we want to make sure that it's safe and it's operational. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that you have the proper air pressure. If you go with a low pressure, it's not going to be fun. So I think 80 PSI is a good ballpark. After you get the tire pressure right, you want to make sure the wheels are moving. You want to look at the anti-tip, and it should be just off the floor by maybe 5 millimeters at the most. You don't want to have any rocking in the chair, because once again, that will ruin the experience. You want to look at the cushions and make sure that they're good quality. You want to put where your bum is going to go so that there's no pressure concerns. You want to have a good, strong back. Then also you want to look at the straps and make sure that you have a waist strap for safety. There's a lot of moving around, so this will keep you in. And also this calf strap keeps your feet from going behind and kind of getting caught into the chair. Also, what you want to do is look at the front casters and make sure that they move around and that there's no rust or hair in the way. And then in general, you want to make sure that there's no sharpness that could possibly hurt your skin. So in this one, we look at it closely and we see that this would actually be a bit of a concern. So you take some duct tape or whatever it takes to get rid of that, and then I think you'd be good to go and set somebody up. Okay, so now we have the chair and it's been checked for safety and everything is looking good. So now we want to fit a person into the wheelchair. And we have Michelle here who's modeling this for us. Thank you, Michelle. So it's important to note that not all people fit into all sport wheelchairs. There are certain things to look for that you want to have a good fit to make it a good experience. So the first thing that we look at is the width of the chair. So your hips have to go in between the wheels. We can't have the wheels rubbing on your hips. It's not good for your skin. And also it doesn't make the experience very enjoyable. So as long as you can get your hand in between the wheel and your hips, you're good. And we have straps here as well that when you tighten, it will even make it more of a space between the hips and the wheel. So that's really important. The next most important thing would be your feet have to touch the foot plate. So the foot plate you can put pressure on as you're playing games, tennis, basketball. If you don't have something to push on, your legs will be dangling and there'll be a lot of pressure on the underside of your hamstrings, which is no good. So if we have the tires pushing, your feet are on the foot plate, the last thing is the backrest. And the backrest has to be high enough to give you a little bit of stability, but it can't be too high for you that it restricts you from moving. So, and also it can be upright, and that can be uncomfortable, like you're always going to fall forward, or if you want to lean it back, it gives you a little more balance. So people with different abilities have different balance issues, so it's important to ask those people how they feel, if they're comfortable, before they start to play. Okay, so now we've had the good experience with the Sport Wheelchair and we're looking to maintain it for other people to use it. So we want to have good maintenance practices. So after someone has used the wheelchair, it deserves a good cleaning. So you're gonna put a spray on, you're gonna wipe it down, especially in any high touch surfaces. You're gonna take off the cushion and make sure there's nothing caught underneath. And then you're gonna let it dry in a nice cool area. Don't bring it outside where salt could get into the casters. A good thing to do is always take the front casters and take a look and make sure they spin. The hair can get caught in between, and if so, you want to take off this nut and bolt and take it out. Maybe use a little 3-in-1 grease and take off any hairs and put it back together. When you are transporting the wheelchair from one place to another, it has something called the quick release. So the quick release is you push this in the middle and you pull out, and that way it's going to store better in your trunk or your car. So those are the tips for maintenance and transporting. Now that we've gone through the sport wheelchair and its setup and how to fit people into it, we just want to make sure that when you're dealing with families or people with different abilities, that you're checking in with them along the way. You want to know what their expectations are. You want to look at their abilities and make sure that they're supported so that they have the best experience. They will know themselves better than anyone else, so listen to them. So if you're interested in using this type of equipment, contact your local recreation department or NovaScotiaConnect.ca.